So obviously been a whirlwind last couple weeks. Very exciting. I think the job that the staff has done, engaging with the brand, engaging with social media, the high school coaches, the feedback from all of those great coaches that are in the state and nationally, the feedback has been amazing and just energizing the fan base and the interaction with the recruits has been really, really special. Today is obviously National Signing Day, but the way we started this day, we are a developmental program. So this morning started off with our developmental workout. And, we were out there in Bobby Dobbs Stadium, Grant Field at 5:29 this morning and going through the off-season conditioning because the development of our players is the first and foremost priority in this organization. We're going to be elite recruiters. We're going to be relentless recruiters, but we want to develop our players to the highest level possible. So we started off that way. Matt drill stations, competition. Anybody that saw the Game of Thrones workout that I think was 2 Saturdays ago, the theme of that workout was teamwork, getting to know your off-season conditioning teams. Ken wrote a great article about how we do our off-season program, going through as a team, working together, positively affecting your teammates, being great leaders, being great teammates. Those kind of things were the lessons that were taught in the first workout. Today was about competition. So we went out there and competed for a while, stations and all those kind of things for points. And at the end, we had the brand new Waffle House truck rolled its way out there on the 50-yard line of Grant Field, and I was serving up all-star specials at the end of the workout. And I think during the workout, it was taxing, it was grueling, but then all of a sudden, once you're handed a all-star special, everything's right with the world. And so we did that, had a lot of fun. We've completed our staff, and I know Coach Key and Coach Coleman are going to get to come up here and speak to you guys. And I'm just so excited of the men that have joined this great program and that have joined this staff, and what they've done in the short time that they've been here is truly special. And then again, I want to give thanks to Patrick Suttis. I know he was announced the day before the last time I got to speak to you guys, but the job that him and his staff have done in the last 2 to 3 weeks has truly been special, organizing the Midnight Madness events, organizing the staff, getting all over the country to see these great players that we were able to sign. So just want to make sure I recognized his role. Santino Stancato, who we affectionately call Morpheus in the Sports Illustrated article, has done a great job engaging our fan base, engaging the former players, engaging the recruits for this class and for many classes to come. Just the work that he does is absolutely amazing, and so I would be remiss if I didn't recognize the efforts of those people who do such a great job for us. Obviously, I've had a great day. I don't know if you guys were here when the cheers went off in our Players Lounge when Jemias decided to sign with us. Huge moment for us on a lot of levels. The Gatorade Player of the Year, USA Today First Team All-American, for him to be such an elite player and to come here is great for our offense, it's great for our program, but I think it even speaks volumes about how powerful this brand is, how great this institution is, the city of Atlanta, the exposure that we got with the Super Bowl being here last week, the facilities that Coach Belichick and the world champions were able to be around and, to be so appreciative of. I think that speaks volumes to what this place is, will be moving forward, and it sends out a message to the 2020 class, the 2021 class, that Georgia Tech is a place to highly consider, and this is a national brand. Elite players come here. Elite players are going to excel here in this program, and at the end of the day, when they're done with their college career, they're going to have a great life after football because they were able to go to this great institution of academics and the connections that they make from being at a top 10 academic school as well. So I talked about Jemias, excited about him. Nazir Burnett, wide receiver out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We were recruiting him for 2 years at Temple, had a really good relationship with him, but he was a little out of our grasp at the time in North Philadelphia, and then we got the job here. He had taken some official visits to some good places, but we reached out to him. He had a good relationship with us, and he's a dynamic playmaker, unbelievable kid, and length, size, speed that we value, and he's going to come down to play on the flats with us. Cornelius Evans, 6'4", 215-pound linebacker, very rangy. And the way this whole dynamic works with the early signing period and the second signing period, he became one of the hottest targets, basically in the country at his position at linebacker, and we were able to get him. Coach Thacker did a great job recruiting him. Coach Coleman, Coach Larry Knight, just the engagement and getting him to join us here. Really excited about him. Marquez Ezard was a 4-star recruit, signed with Miami, and then we got the job here, and just excited to come back home and represent the 404. It was a huge draw for him, a dynamic player, electric receiver, playmaker, high character guy, and so he's going to join us here, and so really excited about him. Coach Dixon and the rest of our offensive staff, the engagement with him and his family was really special, the connection they made. There'll be another announcement coming up here soon. Can't talk about it yet, but excited about the rest of the day. So just keep following RamblingWreck.com, and then our Twitter feed. And in case you haven't noticed, it's at Coach Collins on Twitter. If nobody is following me, I'd appreciate that. But it's been a really good day. Mike said it already. When I'm done here, I've not seen my 2.5-year-old daughter in a month other than FaceTime. I've got a flight back to Philadelphia. I'm going to see her, see my beautiful wife, give them a big hug. Then tomorrow morning, we're flying back down to Atlanta for good. And we're so excited to be back home in Atlanta and to now be here full time together is going to be really special for us. And, the off season starts when we get back on Monday. And we'll have competition Tuesdays, which is a big deal for us in our culture. We'll have together Thursdays, which are the workouts that we build the team that's going to do great things for this great brand. Spring practice will start when we get back from spring break. So we'll give the guys spring break off, obviously. That Tuesday, March the 26th, we will have morning practices. That is a change. So we'll have morning practices on Tuesday. We'll have morning practices on Thursday. We'll have morning practices on Saturday. That'll last for 5 weeks. And then we just did it on the live TV show. The spring game, go ahead and announce it, will be Friday, April 26th. And the time will still be determined. It'll be sometime in the evening. And the reason why is I don't think there's a better backdrop in all of college football than a night game in Bobby Dodd Stadium under the lights, the backdrop of downtown Atlanta. I just think that is such a special environment. And so I just want the recruits, the fan base to engage in that. And I'm calling all Georgia Tech fans, former players, to come enjoy that night with us. These guys are going to be going through an off-season program that's going to be challenging. They're going to create bonds, and they're going to work really hard together, forming the culture that's going to move us ahead. And we really appreciate the reward of people being in these stands to value all of their hard work that they're going to do for this great program and this great brand. With that,
questions?
Questions.
Please raise your hand. Got a microphone. Got about 5 minutes for questions, so Coach can cut you slack.
Geoff, I know in the short time you're here, it's sort of difficult to fill all your priorities. Moving forward, do you expect to maybe look at the transfer portal to make some other needs?
So, and you guys have heard me talk about the roster management and roster balance is really important to me. So we're being very strategic in how we apply the use of the portal and the use of grad transfers and making sure we have balance throughout the roster. Because it's really hard. I've been doing this for a while now after I learned it from Coach Saban, is making sure you have balance throughout the years, throughout the classes, throughout the different positions. So we didn't want to go all in this January period and overload without having a full opportunity to work with our current team. There'll be guys on our roster that are going to go play tight end. There'll be guys on our roster that are going to go play slot receiver for us. Right now, we don't know the full breadth and scope of that. So we want to go throughout the spring, see where places we need to, add guys or add positions. But we're going to go through and have that conversation as we go throughout the spring. But the roster management, the roster balance is very important to me because we're building this thing to be an elite program for a long time. So it's not just a one-year deal where it's trying to be a quick fix. We're trying to build this program the right way, establish the brand, establish the culture that puts Georgia Tech in the national conversation for years to come.
Coach, there was a video that I think Coach Choice tweeted out, and it was they were on the road, and he had a car full of assistant coaches that were all exhausted and asleep. What kind of did that mean to you to see those guys working as hard as they were, but also working alongside of you, considering that you didn't have anyone in December? Yeah,
they're amazing. I'm blessed and humbled that such great coaches and great men have chosen to come be with myself and Jennifer, as we build this great program to where it needs to be and where it deserves to be. So again, I'm humbled the work they put in. They're out on the road recruiting, but they're still developing relationships with our current roster, getting to know these guys, because the big thing we talk about all the time, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And our current roster means so much. The engagement with our current players, even the guys that have just left the program. We've got 11 lockers set up that are vacant just for our former players that just graduated. It's at the very front of the locker room so that everybody in our organization knows that the guys that played here truly matter to us, and we want them to still be a part of it as they get ready for Pro Day, they get ready to go do great things with their lives, that they matter to me. One of the big events, I'm going to go ahead and put it out here as well for people to listen, March 30th. Will be our third spring practice. It'll be a Saturday, and we're marketing it and we're branding it as Legends of the Flats Day. So any former player, former letter winner that played at Georgia Tech, we want them back. We want the engagement with the former players. They've put so much blood, sweat, and tears into this unbelievable place. I want them back around this program, engaged, out at practice, and you guys will see how we practice. It's unique. It's exciting. There's a lot of moving parts. We're a developmental program, and I want the former players to be fully immersed in the experience that is Georgia Tech football. So March 30th, Legends of the Flats Day, and I want to welcome all the former players back with open arms to this special program that they helped build.
Time for one or two more for Coach Collins.
Kelly?
Have you been kind of surprised by it? Seems like in this day and age, there's a lot of transfers out and that kind of thing. You've lost one player, and I imagine that speaks a lot kind of about the job your staff's done and then also the draw of the school, but also has to be a little bit tough in terms of your roster management as well to try and kind of figure out how to put the pieces together.
Yeah, so that, I think there's naturally going to be, attrition in every offseason, every program I've ever been a part of and across the college football landscape. There is a level of attrition. The big thing with me is anybody that's ever been associated with this program, we want nothing but the best for them, love and respect, and wish them the absolute best. And but we're going to build a culture that's very strong, where it's the guys are close, they have close bonds with their coaches, and not just offense or defense. We want them to have a relationship. If you're, the backup wide receiver, I still want you to have a strong relationship with our defensive ends, linebackers coach. I want you to have a strong relationship with everyone in the organization. So when we're in some hostile environments in the season, it's not just your position coach that you're leaning on for support. It's everybody that's involved in this great organization is going to be able to encourage you, be able to push you, and get the absolute best out of your performance. And that matters to me, the relationship piece, building a culture. I think it's hugely important.
Okay, last one.
Marquez, can you tell us a little bit about just how he came to come to Tech, and also is he a candidate for a waiver?
Sure. So we're just really excited about him. I mean, obviously, when you turn on his highlight tape, it's electric. He's a playmaker and just jumps off of the tape at you because he's such an explosive playmaker. But the great thing is, as we got to develop a relationship with him, as you get to develop a relationship with his family, just his content of character is so high. how hungry he is, how much he wants to be great. He wants to be an elite player. I think we have one of the best wide receiver coaches in the game, Kerry Dixon. So he's here and, gonna get to work together. And so we're excited about him. Those other things are between him, and they'll go through the process, whatever that they need to do to get, whatever done. But just a great day, and it's only going to get better as the day goes on with further announcements. And then I get to see my wife and my daughter and give them a big hug, and really fired up about that too. But thank you sincerely for all that you guys do. The branding and the marketing piece has been huge from our staff and all of our people that are involved in our organization, but just really appreciate the things that you guys do for our players, really appreciate the things that you guys do for our program that gets the message out positively about the young men that are involved in this organization. So just from the bottom of my heart, what you guys do and the people that are in this room for our program and for our players, truly heartfelt. Thank you for what you do, and just look forward to having relationships. I'm sure there's going to be ups and downs, but truly appreciate and respect the job that you guys do, for our fan base and for our former players, and most importantly for our current roster. So just really thank you.